every 5 days. A child that's under 13 take their life with a blade, cause they was being bullied. So what's like, yeah, it's causing these babies to fly high, yeah. If you do not believe me, she was AJ when she had enough. He was age 9 when he didn't feel love. She was age 10 when she had gave up, yeah. He was 11 when he turned into dust, yeah. She was age 12 when she wanted help. She was 13, couldn't love herself. You don't believe me, search it yourself, yeah. These young babies are killing themselves.
I don't have to look up like this.
You just stumbled upon JK'z Rewatchable Hour.
You know how long it took me to figure out how to not look up like this or always down like that? All right, are you in the picture?
Yeah, but are you wearing bifocals?
Guys, who is this?
Yes, I am. Wow, Alene. What's that?
What?
I can't.
Are we at a delay again? What's going on? Who are these people? I thought I was on with Elon Musk. 1 second. Let me look at you guys.
All right.
Let me look at you guys.
Well, we can't see
hey,
you.
this is
Oh,
JDUBBS, Alene. How you guys doing? It's been a minute, huh?
Good.
Yes. How are you?
Good.
Hey, just real quick, if you see us dart somewheres, it's because lately Dozer hasn't been able to walk steadily. His back legs have been wanting to give out. So,
Gotcha.
and we have laminate flooring here, but we have throw rugs for him. But
he's gotcha. So it's like a slip and slide effect.
Yeah, he's 15, but he doesn't listen. And so if you just see us dart, it's because
he's an angle.
Yeah, so
gotcha.
All right. What do you think of the angle, honey? All right.
I might have to dart around a bit too. I got my little ones in wood floors. So
okay.
I don't know. We should take a shot every time either your animal or my kids fall in the background here.
No, I'll be dead.
No, Alene has to take 2 shots.
Of what?
Rebecca has to take 3.
Oh boy.
Come on. I thought we were talking about having a party here because this is JK'z Rewatchable Hour. Am I correct?
Hey, where's Becky?
There she is.
And she's gone. Your audio sounds a lot better tonight, Kreg. The last time there was a lot of interference.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to iron out the bugs with the EQ on this thing, and one of these days I'll actually be in my studio again. But progress, right?
Right on. So everybody knows what the topic is today. Really, for the first time, I'm really not actually prepared at all because I was thinking today that would it have been what was the word I wanted to use? So I never reached out to anybody, so I didn't know if I was going to offend anybody by reaching out, and I didn't know if I offended anybody by not reaching out. So just from me to everybody who watches this, this particular topic, it was just one of those fine lines I didn't know how to cross. So it's no disrespect to anybody. So just wanted to throw that out there. Mr. Kelso, if you want to do your normal introduction, go right ahead.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir. But we're gonna revisit that, right? I mean, that's a little. Yeah. Anyway,
anybody can add, a little ad lib right here. I should have said that. If anybody wanted to add their own little personal, just I apologize. That was kind of disrespectful for what I just said. But if anybody wants to add just their own little snippet before we actually get into it.
Certainly. All right. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are stumbling in life. Well, you've just stumbled upon JK'z Rewatchable Hour, which hopefully you've heard the intro a few times by now. Anyway, with myself and my co-host, we have under me. So if I'm gesturing around, under me would be Miss Alene Clark. And then to my right-hand man, my co-host with the most, Jeff Welch, and his fine better half, might I add, Jennifer Welch.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Mr. and Mrs. JDUBBS.
How's everybody doing? Sorry, our cat is trying to come through the one window in her. I know this is going to be a serious topic. I just want to, sorry, our cat just tried to jump through the sunroof or the sunroom window and her fat ass almost fell. So sorry, apologize. Hold on. Just so you can see. Hold on. Real quick. Can you see?
Oh, at least she's not climbing the curtains. I got two of them that climb the curtains around here. It's like, what the? They just commits cat kamikaze. Man.
Wait, yeah. Kreg, the two cats that my mother-in-law gave you?
Yep. Link and Zelda. Yes, I love them to death. And at night, if you let them in your room, it's like 40 cats on your back.
Right.
So my kids love them.
I got you. You want any? Hi, Becky. How are you?
Hey, boo.
I called her Becky.
Hi guys. I just didn't want to shove my face, be stuffing my face again on camera. So
you're fine.
Dinner was freaking fantastic.
Oh,
holy crap!
Nice.
Okay. Want to see the killer?
Oh yeah, her dog killed a bunny.
Oh, there she is. Hi. What's up, honey bear?
Yeah.
Yeah, she found a bunny nest out in the yard, and then she caught one, but it escaped, and then she caught it again yesterday. And a couple hours after that, she snapped its neck and brought it over to me.
Yeah.
And fricassee that stuff.
It's a hunting dog. I can't get mad at her. I just told her to drop it. Yeah. You're lucky. You're beautiful.
So hey Becky, just before we start, the reason why we were laughing just a few minutes ago is because our cat was trying to jump through the sunroom window and she almost fell. So Jen was just nudging me like she's gonna fall off the ledge because she put on weight. I don't know, but so is everybody ready?
I'm ready.
I know it's a topic that's
it's a sensitive subject, but it affects everybody differently, whether they've been personally affected by it by somebody they know or the thought crossed their mind. And maybe, just maybe, someone will stumble upon this and say, hey, can I talk? And we'll maybe one of us can help them. I don't know. We don't know.
Absolutely. I just want to say, thank you to Alene. I know a couple months ago you had suggested it. And it was really hard to actually try to think about doing it. But, you did make a good point. You had showed us a list of people that we know. Like I said, I'm actually really unprepared. So, I'll share
really all that prepared. So
I don't know if there really is a prepare.
Yeah.
So I guess whoever wants to talk. I mean, I know I don't even know how to begin the show. So our show today is about. I'm sorry, I'm actually really nervous about this topic just because I don't want to offend anybody in any way. So our show tonight on JK'z REWATCHABLE HOUR is about suicide and the effects of
the aftermath. The aftermath, the absolute destruction that the loss of a life incurs to not only that person, but everyone that was in his life at the time. And you have to take that on. You have to consider, and this day and age, I hate to say it, but you still forced upon us Gen Xers as we escaped into reality as the way we did away from our parents. The aftermath of of that. And and you've heard me speak about this too, generational trauma, because that you know, not only suicide can cause generational trauma, the loss of a loved one, but cancer, but you know, but anyway, getting back to your original topic, the aftermath and what suicide does. So sorry about my babble. I do that when I've you know, pent up all these thoughts that we posed as our topic today.
Yeah,
How many
no,
list
go
I
ahead,
sent,
Alene.
did you know?
What was that?
How many people that were on that list I sent you did you know?
Quite a few of them.
Several, obviously. One of them
Really?
I
Quite a
know
few
I
of
grew
them.
up with. Oh, Becky and I did, yeah. You know,
Harry, definitely.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
know, Jeff.
just remember, just don't mention any names, just in
Don't
case,
Yeah.
you know.
name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, you know, Jen is, you know, she didn't go to school with anybody, so I probably should have showed her the list again. This is the most nervous I've ever been on a show. I probably could have shown her the list. Maybe she might have known. So I apologize.
She has her own people in her life that have done that.
Yep.
Yeah. This show is just like I said, I was thinking a lot today of this show, and you know, obviously we all share stuff with each other privately in our group text. I know the one time that Kreg and I we went out for a beer before we went over to Becky's. You know, we just sat at the bar talking, and he was, you know, telling me some stuff. So again, this is just one of those things where I do not want to offend anybody. I'm scared that somebody will say, you don't know what it's like, which I don't. I was never immediately affected. I'm trying to choose my words correctly. But you know, throughout life, I was thinking suicidal thoughts because, you know, sometimes when things do get too much for you or you feel like you're nothing, you know, I mean, the thoughts do cross, but I don't know if I actually put a lot of thought into it. It was just something, you know, like a thought. I don't know.
Annihilation.
I think we've all had it at least once.
Yep.
If you have, like, if it comes to you, say, like, you know, I could easily, you know, feeling
There
like,
were
you know,
times. There.
yeah,
I'll admit there have been
if
times
anybody
that
ever
popped
says
into my
that,
head, but
if
I
anybody
don't think I could ever
relays that to you,
do
if
it.
anybody ever relays that to you,
Mhm.
take that. Take the, you know,
Mhm.
you guys are all now mandated
mean,
reporters.
I was in.
You guys are all,
I mean,
you know,
Hold on,
signs.
Becky and Craig, hold on. I think there's a delay because both of you are talking at the same time.
yeah, a little bit. I mean, the thought at times has gone through my head, but it never stayed there.
Yeah.
I think it had more to do with what I'd be leaving that I cared about that kept me going. And, you know, the kids, John, the dog, you know, just my sisters, you know, that kept me going. But there were times where I was more depressed than I want to admit. But thankfully, they pulled me through and, you know, had me say, hey, things will get better. It's tough now, but we'll get better. And we did.
Yeah.
There's been, you know, a few people that I know personally that have completed that, unfortunately. And some of them are really sad in the aftermath, you know, wondering just what was going through their mind, why they did what they did. You know, there was a guy that lived, actually two that lived across the street from me, one on this side, one on this side, that did complete it. Jeff knows one that I'm talking about. Another one was an
Yep.
older man who ended his. And unfortunately, you know, that upset his kids so much. They're his children to this day are still reeling in the fact that that's what he ended up doing instead of talking things out with someone. The other person that I grew up with that actually did do that, I'm gonna sound like a very cold and heartless bitch when I say this, but he was a very troubled person who had a very troubled life, and he kept getting himself into trouble after trouble after trouble. And after that final act, before he did that to himself, he kind of saved the world from him. He had turned from someone that I hung out with all the time because he lived across the street, just hanging out, growing up, going to school. And when I found out certain things that he was getting in trouble for, it was like about 6 months to a year before this actually happened. I was telling him, I'm like, well, I'm just straightening up your act a little bit. You're don't need to be spending so much time in jail. Your mom's gonna have a coronary over this. His father was already gone. He had passed away, and he said, "Yeah, I'll try." And when that situation was going on, there were police involved and all that. And my step, my brother-in-law had called me to tell me what was going on. And, believe it or not, I was sitting in Buster's when I got the news about him. And it shocked me and I got a little teary. But then at that moment, I snapped back and said, you know what? You did so many bad things in the last couple years, and you are going to be going to prison for the rest of your life. And instead of, facing that, he chose to end his. And, I'm still, that really knocked his mother for a loop. I'll tell you that. She's a little crazier than she was even back then, And I haven't seen her in a few years, but, it's just very, very hard to, go on and carry on like nothing happened, you know, and it's heartbreaking to see that, it's somebody's child, it's somebody's partner, it's somebody's sister or brother, you just don't know all the answers and you don't know what's going on in their heads. You hear about the teenagers that are doing this after getting bullied at school and online. And I'm like, I got picked on because of my height, because of my weight, because my mother died, stupid little things like that. And that thought never crossed my mind in high school. In high school, my only thought was, I'm just going to punch whoever says it. And, I never, really did much, but, high school was, it was tough for me, but at least at that time, I wasn't suffering from that type of depression.
Mhm.
I did talk another friend of mine out of doing that one day. She was in the bathroom at school and she was ready to swallow a whole bunch of pills. And I will tell you, I smacked them out of her hand and threw them in the trash. And I sat on the floor in the bathroom with her for 2 class periods. We had a teacher come in, and instead of interrupting and yelling at us and telling us to go back to class, she just said, if you're helping her, let it be. And, she wasn't going to write us up for, skipping class or whatever. She just honestly said, you're helping her. I'm going to just let you guys be alone and hopefully this will handle it. And thankfully, she's still with us and she's got 3 kids and several grandchildren now. And right now, she's probably the happiest she's been in her whole life. And, she's shared a lot of stuff with myself, over the years. And recently, even more so, telling me things that I wasn't quite 100% sure of everything that had been happening in her life because she kind of disappeared for a while. But she's doing good now. And, there can be a happy outcome if you can talk to somebody. It's not going to be all rainbows and unicorns, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel and you can't just give up. It's not, when Charlie died right in front of me and I had to face delivering not just one but two babies immediately after, and I had to go on like nothing happened. You know, I had to keep going on for them. You know, their first Christmas was literally one day before the first anniversary of his death. You know, do you know how hard that was? You know, to keep my crap together just for that, because I was so sad about his dying. You know, and his wasn't a suicide. His was just him not taking care of himself. You know, and you're still stuck with all the stuff that they didn't finish or they promised they'd do the next day, or you know, everything that they said they were going to do, and it's not there. You know, you have to keep going. You can't just, you know, say, well, you know what, they gave up, I'm going to give up. You know, we still have to pick up the pieces afterwards. Somebody has to pay for a funeral, somebody has to pay for a burial, somebody has to pay for all that. And you know, nobody thinks about that either. You know, is that a cost you really want to leave on somebody? You know, and it's not, you know, when something like that happens, it's usually something traumatic. So there's a special cleanup that needs to be involved. I mean, this is, you know, getting down to the nitty gritty. It's kind of gross, but you know, it happens.
Yeah.
You know, what if somebody doesn't find you within, you know, say 24 hours? Do you know what a mess that's going to be? You know, you just have to, if you ever have these thoughts, I'm telling all of the four of you right now, and whoever might stumble upon this someday in the future, reach out to one of us. I think all of our emails are attached to this somehow, or even make a comment on it. Reach out, because we've all felt this. We've all had that feeling that it's the end of the world and that it's the most desperate you've ever been, and you feel like the world's closing in and it's never going to get better. And I know that feeling. But you know what? Talk to somebody. That person, more than 9 times out of 10, will say, I'm here for you. And they will sit there and they will stay up with you all night. They will listen to your crying over stupid things that really shouldn't be stupid things, but to you at that moment, they seem like the biggest freaking thing in your life. You know, how am I going to afford toilet paper? You know, stupid things like that. But you know what? It's not the end of the world. Do not give up. Please reach out to somebody, whether it's one of the 800 numbers that are provided. You know, I'm sure we can probably put a list at the end of the video or whatever there, Jeff.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Or any one of your friends, or even one of us that is on here. Please reach out. It's not worth ending your life. Whatever problem it could be, it's not worth it. Okay, now that
Yeah.
Becky's talked off her heart, I'll let you guys go.
Now, Becky, thank you for sharing all that. I mean, you said a lot of what I found important things. You know, some different aspects of looking at it. And you know, I know that Jen has some stuff here, and I know that Alene has a list. And I know that Kreg got cut off. You know, Kreg, what do you have to add or say or share?
No, I mean, for certain, you know, with regards to the list, I mean, we were given numbers. Is that where we, you know?
That was
hopefully not.
you know.
Hopefully not. But you know, obviously we can't, you know, divulge the personalities and the identities and just, you know, the all out people they were to us. So we have to carry that list, and
In your mind.
and as Becky was saying, you know, be willing to talk to anybody about this topic, and about pretty much any topic that's gonna cause somebody to start tumbling down the hill and start stumbling, you know, to start stumbling in life. And that's what this is all about, and that's why this is such a passion project for JDUBBS and myself. And you know, there again, I want to praise you guys for carrying it on when I've been going through my own personal stuff. And actually, that's how I fell into this group, was by going through my own personal stuff. And oddly enough, at the time, my profession was a peer counselor. So what better group to relate with, to understand you, to know what you're talking about when you're talking about how you made roots in life and to where you are? Your peers. So, you know, oddly enough, and just kind of filling time here. Our great area here in the FLX is birthplace to the peer movement. Right here in Willard, Psychiatric Center. The American peer movement kind of started there in the 70s, but much further beyond that was just, it was just good people. It was just good people who recognized someone going through some serious mental distress, and I can help that person because I've been through it, you know? So, yeah, we continue on, we soldier on in this, whether we have our own personal injury, whether we have our own imaginary demons living like right next door, like right there, like, yeah, someone in this room knows what I'm talking about. They're right there, they won't move. But anyway, that's all right. You got people like these people that I see around me, makes it all right.
We're lucky that we have each other, because
Yeah.
there's people out there that really don't.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
I mean, you know, that there's only 5 of us on the show right now, but you know, we still have, you know, 2 or 3 more that aren't able to be on the show. But I mean, yeah, I guess we're the lucky ones, yeah. And I know, Alene, you can't say any of the names, but you know, this was you know, one of the this is like actually the topic that you wanted us to talk about tonight. What do you have to share or say, or because I know Jen has some stuff written down, and I know you have some stuff, so.
My first experience with it was the year after high school, and we all know who that was. And I've had different experiences with it over the years, but the last one really hit hard because 3 kids from my children's school, before they even graduated school, all took their own lives. And then another one a couple of years later, I think he was 10 years old. And
it was right down the street from where I am now.
yeah,
I found that out right as we were moving in, what had happened. It was very heartbreaking. I felt so bad for his family.
it makes you feel a whole different type of way
Not that
when
one. No, it was when
something
we first
happens
moved in.
to somebody that young.
Yeah.
Well, bullying is a lot different than it was because you got the internet, you've
Mhm.
got just everything. They're awful. They're
They're
putting your home
mean.
address out there, making stuff up, and you're a little kid and you feel like you just can't. You just don't know what to do, and you just, I don't know. It's
And the
awful.
schools don't do anything about it either.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think people need to be held accountable for their actions, like we were. I've been following the Aubrey Wyatt thing, and I'm sorry, but I don't think that those girls really apologized, even when they apologized. They're still making videos and picking on her, and the girl's been dead for almost a year. Her mother suffered enough. I think these girls should be, obviously there won't be jail time, but people should at least know what they did. They
Right.
made her life a living hell, and she thought she couldn't live anymore like that. And that is just terrible. The things that I went through when I was, to feel like that. I mean, yeah, I was in first grade was when I first experienced bullying in school. And I'll tell you right now, there was a group of boys and a girl that just bullied me unrelentlessly because my mother died. And it was from a bacterial infection. And so they kept calling me a flea bag, and they would trip me. And the one kid, laughed so hysterically because he did this in Sunday school too, not just school. Um, I was wearing a cute little jean skirt, and it was a wraparound one where it wrapped around your body and you tied it. And I was so proud of myself that I had gotten it tied by myself without my sisters having to help me because my mother was dead, you know. And it fell to the ground at Sunday school. And one of the bullies from school was in my Sunday school class, and he laughed so freaking hard. And I remember his face being bright red. And I won't say his name, but I'll say a trait. You'll all know who it was. Those freaking Spock ears of his, and he was laughing hysterically and pointing at me because my pants fell down. And that's why. How many of you have ever seen me wear skirts or dresses other
Just
than pictures of my
never
wedding dress?
seen a skirt.
That's
Never.
that's the reason I don't do it. And over time, with the teachers had mentioned something to the parents, and the parents didn't do much. But I will tell you that my sister actually worked with the mother of one of those boys, and when she found out, all hell broke loose. And I will tell you, all the boys apologized, the girl apologized, and to this day, one of those bullies actually is a very good friend of mine. So, I always look to the good in people. I've probably said it to you all before, when sometimes people make mistakes, and, you look to the good and you're like, well, maybe they just forgot about something or whatever. And I'm like, I'm always looking to see the good side, even though I'm more of a realist, and I'm not really a pessimist or an optimist. I'm more of a realist. You know, I know that, this cup, is it half full or is it half empty? Me, it's got ice in it, but I need more. That's the way I'm thinking. There's people that think, when their glass is empty, that, it's the end of the world. And there's people that think when their glass is half full, it's going to be okay. But those other people that are like, you know what, I got a margarita in here, you know, they're good. They're happy. They're smiling. So, it's just all you have to do is reach out. Don't let those feelings of those bullies get you down. Because you know what? If they're calling you names, just think how insecure they really are as a person. That's what I've been thinking about this whole thing. Think about how pathetic they must be if they're talking that bad about you and you're not a bad person. I've heard some heavy duty rumors about myself since I've moved up here from people down where I used to live. And I'm like, I stay to myself. I stay in the house. I go to the gas station to get a frickin' soda, and I go to Walmart. Okay. I am not out doing all these, fancy things and, doing whatever I want and partying and leaving my kids to, go do whatever they want. I'm home with them, you know, and I'm like, if this person is telling others how horrible of a person I am, and here I am sitting at home thinking I'm like the most pathetic excuse for a human because I am boring, you know, just imagine how pathetic that person that's talking about me really is.
Mhm. With what Alene, Jen, and Becky were saying about bullying, you're right. I mean, it stays with you. I mean, it stayed with me for like almost 4 decades, and obviously, the only way I dealt with that was to treat other people how I was treated because I think
Mhm.
we did this on another
On
show.
another show, you at times, and back when you were younger, you did stupid things, you said stupid things, and
Right,
I'll
because
admit
yeah,
it.
because
I mean, you never bullied me or picked on me, but we were always just sarcastic to each other, and that's
right.
kind of how we are now. But at the same time, we know that we are being sarcastic. I don't know how we do it, but it's just,
Well,
know
because
that
we're
I'm
we're,
not
we're
personally
older and
attacking you, saying that you have a small penis and you love midget porn. You know, yes, I'm saying it, but it gets you to giggle. You know,
right.
but there's people that actually will say stuff like that about people, and they take it to heart. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? These people have got to be responsible and have consequences for their actions. It's like
Mhm.
when we were kids, if we did something, we paid the price for it. We didn't get the, well, this person said this and this one said that, and it's okay because his mom just didn't just lost her job. It's okay. No, we were told he did that. Oh, good, but he won't do that again. Those things. There was a lot of darkness in my life years ago, and right now I'm just trying to be as positive as I can. There are times where I am not positive. The other night I sat here crying my eyes out because I was so frustrated. And you know what? I've got John right here, and he talks me through so much. We
Mhm.
might argue and we might get on each other's nerves, but you know what? He's here and he listens. And as are all of you, I know I can pick up my phone at any time. And even if it's 2 or 3 in the morning, one of you is going to answer. I probably won't call you because my voice is so shot still, but, you know, at least one of you will respond sometime, you know?
Mhm.
And that's one thing I'm really grateful for with this group. And, we've got the group chat, and then we've got the subgroup chats, and we've got the private messages. And you know what? Those throughout the day actually help me get through the day. This morning I was so mad when I first got up. I wanted to just start swinging. I was in a nasty, nasty mood, and that was just, and I talked to someone, and I actually listened to them vent, and I tried to be positive. Unfortunately, we both probably are thinking the same thing, and I helped that person vent, and they listened to me vent, and I still made it up to Rochester on time for Casey's appointment, and I still stopped at Trader Joe's, got a bunch of gluten-free junk food. So, I'm here. We're doing good. It's not the
Absolutely.
end of the world.
Yeah.
Reach out, talk to someone. Don't take anyone's bullshit. If someone's bullying you, tell somebody. Somebody has to do something. You know?
Somebody will always be around to listen, whether
Yeah.
you're someone
I
somewhere
mean,
is
somebody else has
gender.
gone through it.
Sure.
Go ahead. I'll shut
Yeah,
up.
no, no.
Go ahead.
Um, but no, like so I guess the reason why I was like such a jerk to people is because at that particular time, it was probably my opportunity to feel superior. So I think that's what comes right down to bullying and all that is you're trying to feel superior. Obviously that was all the younger days and the naiveness and the stupidness, but now it's like I don't know. I try not to. I think I don't think it's intentionally, and then I don't know. I know that sometimes it's easier to talk things out, like if you make a mistake, like you know, I had a thought, I just lost it. Oh, I have a friend who, I thought that I had uh, offended this person, and we talked it out, and everything was fine, and so sometimes I don't know. You don't always have to always be how you were when you were growing up. I guess I want to say, I changed. I say it all the time. There was a time that none of us talked to each other. It is what it is. I mean, we went to school, we lived in the same town, we played sports, whatever. We were at, school events, but because of how things were perceived, or made to feel, that's why we weren't all of that friend or all that closest friends.
Hmm.
So Miss Alene, you want to add anything?
Is Craig talking? His microphone's off.
Oh, hey, Kreg, you're
Sorry,
muted.
sorry. Yeah, it's it. Yeah, sorry. I had to step away a second. Yeah.
I didn't even
Anyway,
notice that.
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm stealth like that. They teach me that in secret agent school. Anyway.
Secret agent. Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, to chime in on what you guys were saying about bullying, it's so much about you know, right, delving into society, and that person that's trying to assert his dominance over another person, to be able to control the situation, and I think the most important part is that we teach our kids that, just don't be bothered. don't be excited, you know, kind of adopt art of war Chinese philosophy of don't respond, don't retaliate right away until you can completely assess the situation. So anyway, yeah, try teaching that to a 5-year-old. Anyway. So
Princess.
yeah.
Jen had looked up some stuff, and I'm just gonna read them off. She researched, and it says more than 700,000 people worldwide die by suicide every year, which is one person every 40 seconds. Now, I'm not quick at math, but we've been doing this for about 42 minutes. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Too many. It's too many.
You know, it's so many that we don't even, you know, obviously possibly know them by 6 degrees of separation. You know, I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
even if we went through the list, if we didn't know that person, we knew someone that did know them, or you know, or or they was related to them, or whatever, or it affected them. You know, there was a couple on that list that I read that did affect me a lot. One that I talked about, that we're not going to say the name, obviously. There was another one on there that, even though it was listed as a suicide, I still don't think he killed himself. But then, we're not going to go into that conspiracy theory right now, because, his family probably doesn't want to ever hear that again. But I will say that it's just things that I found out about that particular person and what had happened that evening, that we don't believe that, but he's no longer with us and can't tell us what actually did happen that night. But things, happen, and it's just because, you your tire got flat on the way to work this morning doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. There may be things that seem like the final straw, and I've had moments like that in my entire life. All these things happen all at once, and it's almost sounds like a freaking soap opera if I go into it. And the thing is I still keep going because
Yeah.
I have children. I have a partner. I have a family that, even if they're not right here every moment with me, they need me. They need me. My kids need me. John needs me. My sister just need me. Even if I don't, it's not that they need me for money or anything. They need me in their lives because I'm the one that cracks the jokes at the wrong times. I'm the one that gets everyone to smile when they've had a bad day. And that's why I do it, because I need to smile too. And, there's been, I don't know how, I can't remember this. Remember when I spoke about my heart attack, and, John took me to the hospital, and I'm still going. As a matter of fact, I've got an appointment tomorrow for my cardiologist, but I will say this. If I went to bed that night, I wouldn't be here talking to you. So I'm still going. It's not the end of the world. I was very close. I could have very well died that night, and I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't. And I'm glad all the times that the thoughts have gone through my mind that I didn't do it. I didn't go through it. I never set myself up to do any of that. It's just I won't say the thought has never crossed my mind. It has. And it hurts. It really does hurt, thinking that there's nobody there. You think, if I was to go tomorrow, would you care? Would you cry? And why would you cry? Are you crying because you didn't tell me that you cared? Or are you crying because you said something stupid and that's how I remember you? And to me, it's just not the way to go. I don't want to go that way, and I don't want to be remembered like that. I want everyone, when I go, you can't say that I'm the one that lit up the room, because I'm a grouchy bitch. but you know what? You're going to be the one that is going to say, hey, I wonder if I go over there and poke her, is she going to fart? You know, I want you to do that. I want it to be, you know, she was my friend. She was my sister. She, you know, I want you to remember those things. And I'm not saying I'm going to do that because I'm not planning that at all. I am planning on staying here. And, you know, I went and got counseling. I went and got antidepressants. I'm taking, you know, better care of myself most of the time. And it's because I've got too much to do. I've got so much to live for. It's if I throw it all away by just going, what's going to happen? You know, what's it, my kids, who's going to, you know, who's going to take care of them? You know, I can't just die now and have nobody there. You know, I have to make sure that I'm here. So, you know, if I start text me at 3 o'clock in the morning and it's not just a meme that's making you laugh and it's, you know, hey, are you up? That's, you know, I just need to vent. I need to let you know, you know, Casey shit in the tub again and I had to scrub it out and he freaking flooded the bathroom and, you know, the dog shit on the floor, you know, that type of stuff. You know, over time, little things like that add up and it makes it so you just think it's the end of the world, but it's not. You
You
know,
know,
talk to us, talk to somebody, do something, reach out. Life is too short to worry about, you know, whether someone called you fat or whether someone, you know, said that you smell like a fart, you know, so what? It's not that bad, you know. If someone's bullying you, stand up, you know. If they're physically harming you, tell somebody. I want these kids to understand if someone's hurting you, tell someone. You know, there are some people that have done this because they were victims of abuse and they feel like, you know, that person made them feel like such a terrible person. You're not a terrible person. The person that did that to you is. So reach out, get the help, get professional help. That's what they're there for. You know, don't say there's nobody will talk to you because, you know, chances are, you know, somebody that already went through it. Reach
Right.
out and talk to somebody. If not, they'll help you, you know?
there's two things I just want to say. One thing I've learned is there's somebody within reach that'll listen, and it may just not be somebody that you expect. Like
Mhm.
I can't say names, but there was an individual on Facebook today, basically, you know, said I don't know if I can word it, but just basically what we're talking about. And I said, you know, here's my number, you know, call me. Um, I I mean I haven't heard from the person, but I was thinking of something when Becky was talking. The other night when we did a show about mental health, um, we had a special guest, Michael Richardson. He has his own podcast, Knowledge for Knowledge. Check it out. But he had said, like, you know, what we don't understand is, you know, we could see somebody with a smile or laughing. He had said something along the lines of he could walk by John Palmer on the street going to Eddie O'Brien's and say hi, and they could say hi back, but he doesn't even know what that person is thinking. And when you were talking, I was thinking about that. Sometimes we just don't know, you know, what people are thinking, and I don't know. I just think
It's
back
hard.
about all the times that I guess I was a jerk to people for all the wrong reasons. I mean, I
Mhm.
don't. Maybe there's a right time, or maybe sometimes I was right, but you know, I'm just gonna read the last thing that Jen had. But my point is, there's always somebody within reason, reach. Sorry, I apologize. Always within reach. I can guarantee you. I would actually stake everything I own on it. There is somebody out there that would drop everything for a total stranger. I mean, taking all of us out of the equation, I just know it. Because
Mhm.
I just know it. But so in 2022, the 11th leading cause of death, 49,476 Americans died by suicide. 1.6 million suicide attempts. You know, I'm in agreement with Becky. I never let it get to the point to where I actually put thought into it. But you know, sometimes when the world like, you know, the simplest thing could just ruin your day. And
Mm.
what I learned was I just didn't have the right mindset. I wasn't secure enough. I wasn't, it has nothing to be, let me just stop what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with being man enough, because that's just a bullshit statement. I hate that statement. I just was not secure enough. I wasn't, I didn't have enough self-esteem. So it's, I hope this does not get me in trouble when I say this. It's an easy thought, you know? But I don't think I was actually anywhere near actually attempting. I think it was more fear of having to even attempt it.
Mm.
But I don't know.
It's a
I
permanent
just
solution to a temporary problem. You know, that problem will go away, but you going away is permanent. And, you know, whether your parents are alive or not, you know, there's somebody that's really going to be sad and really upset. And their life is going to turn upside down. And they're going to be depressed. And maybe they'll think about doing that to themselves if you do that to you, to yourself. You know, to me, I think it's more, as many times as the thought has crossed my mind, and I don't like to be selfish. You know, sometimes it's good to be selfish for yourself. You know, like today I went and bought certain things for myself because I wanted them, you know, but I think, I honestly think that suicide is, if you complete suicide, you're being very selfish. You're not thinking about others. You're only thinking about that one problem, you know, and as many problems as I've been through, you know, we'll just say just back till 2012, you know, it's not worth it. It's not worth giving up. Seeing the smiles on my kids' face during the day because I did something for them, you know, seeing that dog wake up in the morning and, you know, fluff her tail and say, "Hi, Mom," you know, that makes my day. Walking into the kitchen and hearing, "Hi, baby, I got your coffee going," that makes my day. It makes me feel good because they're appreciative. And, you know, if something did happen to me, I know that their worlds would be crushed. It would. So, as many times as I get depressed and the thought has gone through my mind, I can't do it. I seriously can't because I'm going to hurt someone else worse if I do. You know, I don't know if people think about that, and I mean, it's kind of a taboo subject, but you know, someone's got to talk about it. People are killing themselves every freaking day over something trivial, and it's, to them it's a big deal, you know, like, you know, for, you know, things that happened to me while I was living in Lodi still, you know, to everybody else, you know, "Oh yeah, okay, your coal stove died." Okay, my coal stove died in the middle of the night, in the middle of winter. That was my only freaking source of heat. I had to get somebody out there. I had to figure out how I was gonna freaking pay to get it fixed. Couldn't get it fixed, had to figure out a way to buy a brand new one. You know, some people would be pulling their head out because I had nothing, but I did it. I paid for it even though I didn't want to pay that kind of money for something like that, but I needed heat. You know, I can't just say, "Well, you know, this broke, and this broke, so you know what, I'm just going to leave." No, you can't do that. That's being selfish, you know? You have to, you know, I think with my heart a lot, and that's probably why I get more depressed because I like to see the good in people. When someone tells me that they're hurting or tells me that they need something, I reach out, you know? And even though my feelings got hurt last week because the person that reached out and I went to help, you know, blew me off, so what? Am I going to cry about it? No. Did I get mad? Yeah. But what am I going to do about it? Oh, well,
This is
that
all
person,
fine for people
you
like
know?
us because we're adults, but how do
Yeah.
you build this into the mind of a child?
No, they have to
no
learn
idea.
through experiences. You know, you're not going to get those life experiences if you go now. You know, that person that's calling you ugly or fat, or even the so-called taboo thing of calling someone gay, so what? If you're gay, you're gay. If you're not, you're not. Plain and simple. Okay? Don't get mad about it. Tell that person, no, I'm not, or yes, I am. You know, that's the way it is. If you're overweight, do something about it. I'm fat, but you know what? You want to call me fat? Go right ahead. I'll tell you you're ugly. You know, it's just, it's stuff like that that is what's making these kids harm themselves and either try to commit suicide or actually completing it. And the thing is they need someone to show them the right way to go. They need someone who's going to say, listen, if this person hurt you physically, we need to go to the police. And if the police don't do anything, you keep going. You don't just say, oh, they didn't do anything. No, you keep going. You know, they have to have a parent or somebody that knows. You have to tell somebody what's going on. You know,
Right.
if somebody pushes you down the stairs at school or something, say something. School's responsible for that. They all say that they have a zero tolerance for bullying. I don't believe it because they said that went back when we were in school and there were still bullies. There were bullies like crazy. There were freaking idiots that said stupid things to me all the time. But you know
Mhm.
what? I didn't let it get to me at the time because you know what? I know who I am, even though I never fit in with anyone. You know what I mean? I never fit in with this group, or this group. I was friends with this person, this person, and this person. And so that I think that's how a lot of us got together is we all knew somebody, you know.
Mhm.
It's not so much that I sought people out. It was just the fact that I didn't fit in with anyone. You know, I wasn't smart enough to be a nerd. I did not like sports. I was not that talented with music, but I was still in band, but I wasn't, that crazy band geek that went to band camp. I didn't do that type of stuff. So it's really, really, these kids have to learn that just because someone calls you a name or says something bad about you, say something back, do something. I've had low self-esteem my entire life, but you know what? Stand up for yourself. Do something. Say something. Go to an adult, go to a friend. Somebody will do something. Somebody can help. There's
Yeah,
always someone that can help.
I think when I was thinking of Alene's question, and it goes back to what Jen had said earlier, when we were growing up, there wasn't social media, you know,
I'm okay. Yeah, I know the social media is probably a really rough thing with
Oh,
that because people are
I think
posting.
they're
but
there.
now on social media, one click and you can add 50 people and it spreads like wildfire.
Yeah,
And that was a very good point that Jen had made. I mean, so to answer Alene's question, I honestly, I don't know. I mean, everything starts at home, and I don't know.
I mean,
I I don't know.
my kids, are too young and too delayed to actually understand a lot of social media. And like I said, I made a post on mine yesterday that, Molly has a new tablet and
Oh, yeah.
actually has even better parental controls. So I see everything. And the only app that she has where she can respond to people is Kids Messenger. And the thing is I've got the app on my phone, so I see everything she types and everything they type.
Oh,
So it's
good,
not just
good,
that. So I can see whoever's doing whatever. Social
good.
media, I think parents really should crack down on that. It starts at home. It's either parent, guardian, whoever's in charge of that kid. You know, my kids are not mature enough for Facebook. My kids are not mature enough for, making a thing on YouTube. My kids are not mature enough for TikTok. They are not allowed. Yes, they do watch videos, but they're not allowed to make comments. You know,
Uh,
I set up certain things and, I block certain things because it's not appropriate. Making a TikTok video for a 12-year-old, I don't think a 12-year-old should be on TikTok. You know, call me old fashioned. I don't think they need it. You know, I don't think they need to be on Facebook. I don't think they
Absolutely.
need, I've got, my dog's got a Facebook, but my kids don't. And I don't know if you've noticed over the past, year or so, I put less and less of my kids' faces on there. I'll do a group thing and it's all about the one kid or whatever. And I leave out identifying things at times because there's some sick freaks out there.
Yeah.
You know, there's predators and it's awful. So, that's why I do a lot of my dog because, if you come after my dog, you're just gonna get shot. We already know that.
Yeah.
So
I think I interrupted Jen. So I think she went, oh, I thought I interrupted you.
No.
I apologize. Okay. Miss
so
Alene?
it's just I think for social media, it needs to start at home. They need to enforce it, and it's just plain and simple. No means no. And if the kids can't get over that, then they have to face the consequences. You know what I mean? That's like what we did, when we did something stupid. Well, guess you lose your phone, guess you lose your tablet, shut the fucking internet off. I've done that many times. Kids aren't listening. John just goes out there and flips the switch to the room. It shuts all the power off out in the living room. So there's no internet, there's no TV, there's no nothing. So he pisses me off because he doesn't tell me he's doing it. But it's I think it needs to start at home. I think parents need to talk to their kids about this type of stuff too. If someone's bothering you, you can tell me. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I had to have a talk with Molly yesterday about someone that's leaving the school where she's at, and it actually made me cry when this person told me, and I knew it was going to bother her. So we went out to dinner because, it was 10 years since she was diagnosed with diabetes yesterday. And I made her feel all special. And I wanted her to know because we're going to be going out to dinner with this person next week. And I don't want Molly, making plans for the school year when this person's actually going to be leaving in less than a month before school starts, you know. And the person let me know because this person really cares about Molly. She takes care of her at school. She takes, she's a nurse and she takes care of her. And I get messages if something's wrong or phone calls if something's wrong. And I've had a really good relationship with this person. And I had to tell my daughter that this person's leaving. And, that's not going to make Molly actually do something bad, but she broke down in tears. Kids have to understand that you're allowed to be sad. You're allowed to be mad. You're allowed to not like me at the moment because I said no. But you know what? If I say no, it means no. Parents should know that. You're going to live to see tomorrow because I said no. These little things. Parents need to crack down on that. If they don't like it, too bad. Guess you don't have a phone. Well,
Definitely.
how are you going to reach me at school? Well, you know what? I went to school without a phone. I made it from kindergarten all the way to graduation without a phone. Matter of fact, I didn't even get a cell phone till 2005. Okay, it was 2005, and I still have the same freaking phone number. So, yeah.
That's
So, but
earlier sorry, Becky.
parents need to crack down. I don't give a shit.
Yep, I
Crack down.
agree.
Watch your fucking kids.
Don't let
Earlier, I was
devices
writing
be their
down.
babysitters or their parents, all out parents. I can't. I mean, it was cute when they were little and they were addicted to everything that was cars, and they had to look at that on YouTube. But then they started looking at other stuff, right? And it's just, yeah, you got to set up that kid's account that's linked to your own profile so that you can get flagged if there's a website that shows up that they tried to access or that they did access. And yeah,
I've got it. Even she can't even download games on that thing unless she has my
Good.
password. And
Because
she
some
has to
games
either,
you can talk.
yeah. So it's all sorts of everything. It's parents need to step up too, because if your child harms themselves, just think about the things that why didn't you talk to them about it? Why didn't they come and talk to you about it because of that?
Earlier, I was I don't know if you saw me. I was writing something to Jen, so I didn't disturb whoever I was talking. A couple months ago, we watched a movie. Forgive me. I think it's called The Walk with Mark Wahlberg.
Mhm.
It's an excellent movie. Actually, it was right around when Becky was talking about whether you're gay or not. I think it's called The Walk. I don't remember. Um, so Mark Wahlberg plays this over macho father, and his son was just he was gay. He came out gay, and he tried out for cheerleading. And he wanted to go to New York to be a model. Well, after a while, they butted heads and stuff like that. And the part that got me is that this individual reached out to her best friend, and her mother wouldn't let her talk to her. And this individual in the movie, in real life, it's a true story, ended up committing suicide. And the kid,
he got attacked.
oh, he got attacked.
And the school didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And he just felt that he couldn't turn to anybody. He went to his best friend, and the mother didn't want her to talk to him because he was gay. And she's like, I'll call you when I get home this weekend. And he went to the playground, and
he was begging her to talk, and his goal, or her goal, I'm sorry, was to go to New York for modeling, to walk, whatever. So in the movie, Mark Wahlberg packs a whole mess of supplies and not a stroller type thing. I'm butchering the movie, a cart. And he's walking, I think, from Utah to New York. And I recommend the movie. I'm not gonna tell you the ending, but when Becky was saying, whether you're gay or not, to me it doesn't really matter. I don't really care. And I think that's another thing that is wrong, is somebody's sexuality. I don't care.
Yeah,
and I know
Well, I mean,
what's going on in the bedroom. Wait, just that's all you got to do.
If someone's getting bullied and they're being
All my
told
kids
that
know
they're
about
gay,
that.
you
Yeah.
know, and if
Wait,
they are,
I
they are.
just
If
missed
they're not,
something.
they're
I'm
not.
sorry.
But if
Oh.
my kid, either one of my kids came to me and said, I'm gay, okay, so what?
Yeah,
Big deal.
I mean,
My kid is still my kid no matter what label they have, okay? So it doesn't, that's the way I think parents should be. But I do know that a lot of parents, have different ways of thinking. And if their child did come to them and say, listen, I'm getting bullied at school, they keep calling me gay, I am, and mom or dad flips out, well, maybe you need to the parents need to change their attitude too. You
yep.
think about it.
And
You're supposed to love your child no matter what.
absolutely.
My dad and
And
I clashed heads all the freaking time, but you know what? He still loved me.
I mean,
The day he
so
died, I knew he still loved me.
I highly recommend watching that movie. I will find out exactly what the name of it is. We're all shaking our head, like, we're all in agreement, which, like I said, just watch the movie. I mean, to be honest, when Jen said, hey, I want to watch this movie, I'm like, okay, but when I found out it's a true story, I was like, okay, it's a true story, but I'm like, okay, but the meaning behind it is, to me, what I took away from it was change. I gave away the plot, but Mark Wahlberg, the father in real life, changed how he felt and saw things. And I think for myself that's what I've done as I've gotten older, just in the last 7 or 8 years. I don't know. I just changed. Like, I don't care about certain things. If somebody asks me, what do I think of this person? I'm like, well, just tell me their character. I don't care about, I don't care if they're gay. I don't care if they're black or white or green. I don't care how much money they have. I just care about character, and
if they're a good person,
that's all I care about.
I don't care who you support politically. I don't care what religion you practice. I don't care what your skin color is. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole. And if you're a nice person, you're a nice person. And if you're nice to me, I'm going to be nice to you. If you're a total dick to me, you know what? I'm going to be a bitch, and it doesn't matter. Like I said, people, since I've gotten older, I think it's just less tolerance for crap like that. I do think it's wrong that kids are bullied. And to the point now where it's on social media, the parents need to crack down on that themselves. Don't let your kid on social media. They're not supposed to be on there anyway. Sorry about that. But it's like, I think a lot of the bullying starts at home. You know, some of these kids see their parents fight, and you know, or see the way that their parents are parenting the other children in the house, so that's how they're treating other kids. These kids need to know that just because someone calls you a name, it's not the end of the world. You know what? I mean, be like we did, call them something worse. You know, it's just, you know, I don't understand how these kids can do that, you know, thinking, not knowing that they're never going to see, you know, turning 18 or turning 21 or whatever. You know, it's not, it's a hard subject. And, you know, like I was talking earlier, if you want to get really gross about it, there's a lot of stuff that happens when you die. And someone else has to clean it up. You know, like I said, that someone has to find you, someone has to declare you dead. There's a funeral, there's all sorts of stuff. And, you know, think about those things. It's your parents are going to have to go through this. You know, your mom gave birth to you. She doesn't want to die before you. She doesn't want you to die before she does. You know, it's a lot of stuff. You know, as an adult, I'm thinking, you know, yes, I did have those thoughts, but I couldn't go through with it because I had so much to live for and so many people that cared that need me, you know. Sorry, I've been talking too much tonight.
No, it's okay. Take some water. Alene, you have anything to add?
Not really. I have seen that movie though, and the ending is terrible. I bawled.
Yes. Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to be really honest. I did shed a tear or two. So, yeah. So you guys will look at it. Mr. Kelso, I know that you've gone off and on screen. You have anything to add?
Yeah, no. Just that yeah, you guys all make great points regarding, you know, the acceptance of, you know, anything that we consider alternative. And I think there again, it's just society's issue with learning how to not be so bothered by everything, you know? And that's, you know, take that as you may, but that comes along with wisdom. So in that, I guess that was my cue to kind of wrap things up there, JDUBBS, unless there Miss JDUBBS, Mrs. JDUBBS has anything to offer. Your better half.
Look at that smile. She's so freaking cute. Jen.
Jeff?
She said you're so
Yeah.
freaking cute.
That's not cute.
I wasn't saying Jeff was cute. I said Jen's cute. She look at that smile.
What was that?
Oh, that
Jed
was Becky.
Jed swinging.
So just before Kreg does the outro, I just want to thank you know, Alene. I know a couple months ago, like I said earlier, you had suggested this. It was just a tough topic to even consider. I was really nervous. But you know, as we do, one of us will have a idea. You know, we're not gonna discredit anybody. So thank you guys for making it easy on me. I had no idea. This is the first show I was not even remotely prepared for. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to. So I thank all of you seriously for making it easy. So thank you very much.
You did awesome. You did awesome, Jeff. And I didn't even know I was going to be on the show until like 5 minutes before it happened. So
Well, I saw
Good
you
job,
put it on
good job,
Skype.
my
I'm
man.
like, whoa, Craig's coming on. Like,
yeah,
you
you guys
know,
got the old man on. You guys
it's,
got the yeah.
Just before you do the outro again, next week we're going to be gone, so I will not be available for a show. You guys, obviously, anytime, just do a show, and then just send it to me on Skype or whatever. I am looking into another platform. I'm just being lazy, which we will have to do away with
Being
Skype,
summer.
and it'll be a lot easier than Skype. But you know, we're going to go up to Buffalo. Hopefully, I don't die.
2 weeks.
Or 2 weeks, I'm sorry, but next week we're not. Next Thursday is our anniversary, so I will not be available for the next 2 weeks. She's gonna
Nice.
wear a Bills jersey or shirt, even though she's a Peyton Manning fan.
Just let Jeff this.
Go Bills!
But our friend Will and his son is going, so I'm gonna hide behind Will because I just don't trust anybody at stadium. So, but I want to go see a game. I've never been to a game, but
The Hordes.
but for the next 2 weeks, I am unavailable for a show, but I will be in touch with you guys.
Thank God.
Come on, you know
Gotta
someone from the peanut gallery had to say something tonight. Come on.
I love you too, John.
Like, hot, hot, hot.
Oh, John, I love you, man. Oh, John. Oh, my
Hey,
gosh.
so
Anyway,
I'm assuming that John would be
ladies
happy
and
so he can
gentlemen,
get him
this
freaking
amazing
dinner.
Show.
But, go ahead, Craig.
Let's try to bring it back to yeah. That's how close up friends we are here on this show. We can talk about something so serious and just bring it right back home. So, with that, below me, never ever below anybody ever. Actually, just you know that screen there. That's Alene Clark. Over there is Becky Shaywalk. Sherwalk. Which Sherwalk. I'm sorry, I tried reading with these crappy cheap glasses. But yeah. So and then Mr. and Mrs. JDUBBS.
Don't forget Dozer.
Dozer. I didn't see him flop one time. You set us all up, and we're like expecting it,
hold on, just
and it just never happened.
He's telling us it's time
I see
for
a tail.
bed, so.
That's a fake dog. Jeff's got a fake dog over there. He's got what, 1 million Instagram hits on a fake dog. No, I'm kidding.
Not a million yet, but yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching JK'z Rewatchable Hour.
Thank you all. Appreciate you. Love you. We will talk to you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
Love you guys.
Good night.
Yeah,
Keep safe.
Later.